Hello friend, welcome back for the lecture series of engineering mechanics. I am Professor Pratap N. Shinde. Today we are going to start one interesting topic, that is projectile motion. So what is projectile? Any particle that is given an initial velocity and which is subsequently subjected to only acceleration due to gravity, it is called as projectile motion. So in projectile motion, so any particle which we have to give just initial velocity and then after that it will subjected to only acceleration due to gravity. So that type of motion is known as a projectile motion. So here in this portion, this path followed by this particle is a parabolic, and this is known as a path of projectile. And the alpha, that is angle of projection of projectile, which is always less than 90 degree. If it is 90 degree, so it will fall over directly over the initial position of projection, and the point from which it will projected is known as a point of projection. And the motion of that particular object is known as a projectile motion. It is one kind of motion under gravity studied for two dimension. In previous lecture of motion under gravity, we have learned, so that type of motion is only one dimensional motion. Here the path of projectile motion is the two dimensional motion, means one is in vertical y direction as well as in horizontally x direction. So we can solve this problem by study the motion into two different dimensions also. Again, the another type of definition, when body is in free motion, it's called as a projectile. So in free motion means we have to just give the initial velocity and subsequently it is subjected to only the gravity force as well as the air resistance. While studying the air projectile motion, we can not consider the air resistance. So air resistance in projectile motion is neglected, and the motion of that body is known as a projectile motion. Here Sx is indicates the horizontal displacement of this projectile and Sy is the vertical displacement of this projectile. This Sy is the vertical displacement of this projectile. Therefore, we can conclude that every projectile motion is a curvilinear motion. This is one of the type of curvilinear motion, whereas every curvilinear motion is not a projectile motion. So please understood this statement. So every projectile motion is a curvilinear motion, but curvilinear motion should not be possible that it is a projectile motion. Why? Because in curvilinear motion, the in such the curvilinear in many times it is not such way that it is having the only initial velocity at the time of projection. In projectile motion, we are giving the only initial velocity for the projection, and the that projectile is travel due to only the initial velocity. In that case, the horizontal component of velocity in projectile motion is always constant. Therefore, acceleration in horizontal direction, or we can say that in x direction, is always zero in case of projectile motion. So this case is not true always in case of curvilinear motion, but projectile motion we can say that it is curvilinear motion. Normally air resistance is ignored, so the only force acting on the object is force due to gravity. In in projectile motion, we have to remember the air resistance is neglected and only one force is acting on that particle, that is a gravity force, not other than that force. So therefore, no acceleration of the projectile in x direction. We have already discussed, where it is acted upon by gravity in y direction. So the projectile motion ax, that is horizontal component of acceleration is equal to 0 because the velocity in horizontal direction is always remain constant, and in y direction velocity is subjected to the acceleration due to gravity, and the ay is always minus 9.81 in projectile motion. So this is a projectile motion. This is, let's say, this sphere we are projected with some initial velocity. So this is a point of projection. U is the initial velocity provided to this sphere or this ball or any object. This is the velocity of projection. This alpha is the angle of projection with respect to horizontal. This is the path followed by the projectile. So this is the maximum height attained by the projectile. So at a maximum height, velocity component in x direction becomes 0. So therefore only one component of velocity will be acting on that projectile, that is Vy. So always remember that at highest point the projectile suffers very small velocity, or the minimum velocity of projectile always at the highest point, or in another word, at highest point projectile having the minimum velocity. So this is one concept you have to remember. This is point of landing, where the projectile is landing. And this path which is followed by the projectile is always parabolic path. This is the horizontal displacement of the projectile. This is initial point or point of projection, and this is point of landing. If both are on the same level, in that case it is known as a range. So remember that definition of range. So Sx, S suffix x, is indicates the horizontal displacement of the projectile, and this Sy is the maximum height attained by the projectile during its motion. So we can split this velocity into its two components. One is in horizontal direction, that is ux. It is equal to u cos of alpha, and this is vertical component of velocity is uy. Vertical component of velocity is uy. At the highest point, velocity in y direction is 0. Sorry, I have said that x component, sorry. So y component of that velocity is always 0 at highest point, and the only one component of velocity it suffers, that is the ux. That is a component of velocity in x direction. Please make the correction. In previous slide I have told that the only one component of velocity will be appear, that is vx, vy. So not the case. It is only one component of velocity is acting the vx, and the vy is 0. So one component of velocity at the highest point will be 0. Therefore at highest point it suffers the minimum velocity, and at the point of landing again the two component of velocity vx, which is equal to ux, and this is vy. So from this figure, it's a very interesting figure. One of the example of free kick, Cristiano Ronaldo, you have to remember, or the Beckham. Have you, I think, saw the movie also, Bend It Like Beckham. So in that case, the Beckham kick the ball with such velocity and with such angle that definitely he will able to make a goal. So in that case, he is apply the logic of projectile motion and the angle of projection as well as the initial velocity. So if you observe this figure, this person or this football player kick the ball with a same velocity on a different angle of projection. If velocity is same and angle of projection is different, the landing will be different. If it projected this ball with the same velocity at an angle of 15 degree, it will be end over here. If 30 degree, it will be end over here. If it is 60 degree with the same point, it will be land. If it is 45 degree, it will go beyond the net. And if it's 75 degree, it is again where it will land on 15 degree. At the same point, it will be land when it is projected with an angle of 75 degrees. So from this figure you observe that there are the two angles where we will achieve the targets with the same targets. So definitely there is some science when we playing the football also, or there is an application of physics, or we have used the projectile motion while playing the football also, as well as while playing the tennis also, playing the cricket also, there is always projectile motion. If projectiles are launched at the same speed, that is velocity is same, but at different angles, the height, the whatever the height they have attained is different, and the range of the projectiles are affected. Get my point? So this is the complete diagram of projectile motion. So you first understand this diagram. If you understand this diagram, definitely you will understand the concept of projectile motion. So here u is the initial velocity. Here u is the initial velocity of projection, and its horizontal component we can easily find out that u cos of alpha. If we divide this velocity into its two orthogonal component, and ui is, yes, u sine of alpha. This is the velocity of projection, and this is angle of projection. The projectile trace the path. That path is parabolic in nature, and it is known as a projectile motion. At the highest point, you will get the maximum height, that is h max. At that point, velocity in y direction is 0, and velocity in always x direction is ux, which is remain constant throughout the motion. Remember why we will get the minimum velocity at this point, because velocity component, this ux, u cos of alpha, is always remain constant throughout the motion. So only the component which is changing from point to point is uy or vy. Initially it is ui. When the projectile is fired, we can call it as a vy. So this vy at the highest point is 0, and then after that it is start the decline or descending path. So up to highest point is it is ascending path. Up from highest point to the point of landing is a descending path. So at highest point the velocity is always minimum. This is h maximum. This is your range. When we call it is range, when the point of projection and point of landing is on the same level, then we can call as a horizontal displacement of projectile is nothing but the range of the projectile. So equation of path of projectile, we have to derive the equation of path of projectile. So at highest point, vertical component of velocity is 0, that is vy is equal to 0. At highest point, the trajectory at highest point of trajectory, only one component of velocity is there, that is vx. So velocity at highest point is always minimum. The horizontal component of velocity is, instead of theta, it is alpha. We have given the notation alpha, u cos of alpha, remain constant throughout the motion. A projectile has horizontal velocity u cos of alpha is constant. In vertical direction it has velocity u sin alpha with an acceleration due to gravity. For projectile, acceleration in x direction is always constant because velocity in x direction is always constant, and ay, that's acceleration due to gravity in y direction, is minus 9.81 meter per second square. Motion of a particle may be replaced by two independent rectilinear motion, and hence three equations of motion can be applied independently in x and y direction. So we can solve the problems of projectile motion by using the three equations of motion. But here we have to apply these three equations in two directions independently. Where what are the two directions? One is in x direction, another one is in y direction. These two directions we have to consider, and according to that we have to apply the three equations of motions and solve the problem. Okay, now we are going to derive the equation of path of projectile. First we will apply the equation of motion in x direction. We know that s is equal to ut plus 1 half at square. This equation also we have derived in fourth unit. S is equal to ut plus 1 half at square. So we have to apply this equation independently in two direction. One is in the x direction, one is in y direction. Here I want to apply in x direction. The equation is transformed into s suffix x is equal to uxt plus 1 half axt square. Here all the terms I have replaced by the x component. But for horizontal displacement, ux is equal to u cos of alpha, which is constant throughout the motion. Therefore, ax is equal to 0 and sx is equal to x. So I have noted this sx, that is horizontal displacement, by the symbol x. So sx is equal to capital X, ux is equal to u cos of alpha, this t as it is. This terms is become 0 because ax terms to be 0. So you will get the equation x is equal to u cos of alpha t. If you want to find out the time t to reach the ground, you can use this equation also. So t is equal to x upon u cos of alpha or x upon u sec of alpha. So whichever you can choose that equation. So this is t. So for this vertical displacement, now by this same equation, now I am going to use in another direction, that is sy. Sy is equal to uyt plus 1 half ayt square. Now here sy, if sy we can call as a y, that is vertical displacement. What is uy? U sin of alpha t, that is the vertical component of velocity, u sin of alpha t. This equation, this part. Now here ay is minus g, so minus gt square by 2. Okay, this equation we have got. Now substitute this value of t in this equation from, let's say this is my equation number 2. Now put 1 in 2. So by substituting the value of t from 1 in above equation, you will get y is equal to u sin of, what is t? X upon u cos of alpha minus g upon 2, sorry, we can call as 1 half g x upon u cos alpha bracket square whole square. So it will becomes x, this u we get cancelled. So sin alpha upon cos alpha tan of alpha. So x tan of alpha minus g x square upon twice u square. This 1 upon cos square alpha can I write down as sec square alpha? Yes. So y is equal to x tan of alpha minus gx square upon twice u square into sec square alpha. This equation, this is the equation of path of projectile. So this is derivation for the path of projectile. Many times this derivation may be asked to, in an examination, prove the path of projectile or derive the equation for the path of projectile. Okay, so understood what is the equation? Just we have to use only one equation. S is equal to ut plus 1 half at square, first in x direction, then y direction. Substitute the value of t in y direction and rearrange the terms. You will get the your required path of projectile. This equation is path of projectile and it is a parabolic in nature. Therefore, path traced by the projectile is always parabolic in nature. Okay, got it? So please learn this equation. Sometimes this equation is useful while solving the numericals. So it will save your time. Instead of using the equation of motion in two direction, you can directly use this equation. Again, this equation that will help you to solve the numericals with a less time. Okay, otherwise if you understand this concept, there is no need to mug up the formulas also. Okay, so some important terms, that is total time of flight. Total time of flight is the during which the particle remains in a space. So whatever the time, that time is during which the particle or the projectile remain in a space is known as a total time of flight. That is given by the equation T or notation T. So total time of flight is equal to 2u sine alpha upon g. So you have to remember this formula. So how it will be developed? So I will explain you. So we are having the formula v is equal to u plus at, but it is projectile motion, so a is replaced by minus g. So velocity in y direction uy is equal to vy minus gt. So velocity at the highest point is 0, so uy is nothing but the u sine of alpha minus gt. So t is equal to u sine of alpha upon g. So this is the time required to reach the highest point. This is not a total time of flight. Please remember friends, this is the time to reach the maximum height. Why? Because here I have substituted the vy is equal to 0. Vy is 0 only at the when it reaches the maximum height. Now this is the time of ascent. So all of you know that time of ascent is equal to time of descent. So total time of flight t, for that we have to multiply it by 2. So you will get this equation. This is ascent time. Okay, so total time of flight is nothing but the twice of this that we have already derived. Got it? So we have derived this equation up to the maximum height. Please multiply it by 2, so that will give you the total time of flight, because this time is to reach the maximum height. So you have to remember this formula. This formula is the total time of flight. This gives you the time required to attain the maximum height. Now horizontal range. This is your horizontal range. When you call it as range, so in that case the point of projection and point of landing must be on the same level. It is horizontal distance between the point of projection and point of return of projectile to same level of projection. If the level of projection is same, then we can call the horizontal range. Otherwise not. Otherwise it is only displacement x. Okay. So horizontal range r is equal to u square sine 2 alpha upon g. So you have to remember this formula. So maximum horizontal range, this value of maximum you will get when the angle of projection is 45 degree. When angle of projection is 45 degree, you will get the maximum range. Okay. So the maximum range is given by r is equal to u square sine 2 alpha upon g. Substituting the value of alpha 45 in our first equation, that is s, x is equal to ux. So in that, if you substitute, you will get this answer. Otherwise you have to just mug up this formula. Okay. So maximum height, it is the vertical distance between point of projection and point of height, point of maximum height, where the vertical component of velocity is 0. This is the maximum height where vertical component of velocity is 0. The difference in between point of projection and where vertical component of velocity is 0, that is known as a maximum height. So maximum height you can find out by the formula u square sine square alpha upon 2g. So maximum height h max you can calculate by this formula. This is a trajectory equation that we have already derived this equation. This is path traced by the projectile during its motion. The path of projectile is a parabolic. So Sy is equal to Sx tan of alpha minus 1 half gx square upon u square cos square alpha, or we have written like a u square into sec square alpha. Here instead of that, in previous formula we have derived the formula like y is equal to x tan of alpha minus 1 half g x square upon u square into sec square alpha. So both are the same formula. Here I have replaced y by sy, x by sx, and this one half is nothing but the 0.5. Okay, both are the same formulas. So this formula you have to remember. Some important terms: time of flight twice u sine of alpha upon g, maximum height u square sine square alpha upon 2g, horizontal range u square sine 2 alpha upon g, maximum range u square upon 2g, and this trajectory equation y is equal to x tan alpha minus gx square upon twice u square into sec square alpha. This equation you have to remember. Thanks for watching, friends. In next lecture we are going to solve some numericals of projectile motion by using this projectile motion important formulas. Same problem we can solve by the trajectory equation also, and by using the motion equation also. So thanks for watching.